Good evening and salutations, my Days of Our Lives fans. So, before we get started, um, now, when I do these videos, these Days of Our Lives, General Hospital, whatever, reviews, recaps, and I say something that's either factually wrong or you feel that I said something that you didn't like about a certain, that you didn't like about what I said about a certain character or whatever, you're more than welcome to write your opinions in about them, disagreeing with me, telling me why, whatever. That's fine. What I have a problem with is when people decide to be disrespectful because it creates a very toxic and negative environment. And that's just not something I'm going to stand for. And I don't generally tend to do these. And if this was just a simple, oh, well, I think you're wrong because of this, that, and third, cool, whatever. We could sit there and talk about it in the comment section, whatever. If you're cool about it, I may sit there and give you a shout out and look into it. And if I was wrong about something, cool. But I don't take disrespect well. Actually, to tell you the truth, I don't take disrespect at all, which is why I'm doing this. So this is to True Waynes. The reason why I'm calling that person out is because when you read their comments, it just comes across as very disrespectful. Telling me that I'm being rude as F to a character on a TV show. It's a TV show. It's a fictional fantasy TV show. If I decide to call a character a moron or call them annoying or say a scene is boring, it's just how I feel. That's the nature of doing these recaps or these reviews, is to sit there and talk about what's going on and assert my opinions. Good, bad, whatever. Okay? So when I sit there and hear stuff like, oh well, it's a soap opera, you need to get over it. No. I don't need to get over a goddamn thing. What I need to do is give my opinion about why I like or dislike a certain scene or a certain character. And so yeah, I'm just not gonna sit there and take disrespect. And when I see it, I'm gonna call it out. And please feel free to read that person's comments. And you let me know if I'm overreacting or whatever. I don't feel like I am. And I don't generally tend to do videos like this where I just start shouting out people because they simply disagree with me. Hell, if I did that, man, the videos would never end as far as me just doing those type of videos. So, yeah. Apologize to everyone else. I don't generally like to tend to start off these reviews or recaps like this in a very negative way, but I'm also a person that doesn't take disrespect like that, and when I see it, I'm gonna say something. Also, Brock TV also has something very similar that happened to him, and he had to sit there and call out some people. So I'm just like, I'm personally doing it because one, I don't do disrespect, and two, I don't want it to be a very negative, toxic environment in the comment section. I mean, these soap operas are supposed to be fun. We're supposed to sit there and talk about. We're supposed to laugh and cry and just, enjoy this stuff. It shouldn't be taken in such a way where it's like, Anyway, so let's get into it. Let's start with Jake and Gwen. So pretty much where it left off. About them about to go up there and play mattress tag. And then Ben showed up. And Ben was just like, oh, am I interrupting something? And Jake had that look like, damn well you're interrupting something. Don't play coy with me. So Ben is pretty much just like, yo, where's that book? We want that book. I've been beat up. Ciara has had her life in danger. And it's just not good. We need that book and we need it now. Gwen is pretty much like, alright, cool. But, Jake, I want an apology. And, Jake just kind of stands there, and after a while, Ben is like, yo, just give her a goddamn apology already. So, Jake is just like, alright. Ben just said, give her a goddamn apology. And Ben is just, and Jake is just like, alright, I apologize. Gwen's like, no, I want you to say it like you mean it. And I also want you to apologize for calling me a crazy bitch. Jake is just like, alright, I apologize. They play tug of war or whatever for the book. Gwen pretty much gives him back the book, bites his ear, and is just like, alright, well, I'll see you upstairs. Jake talks to Ben. I feel like even though when he was sitting there talking to him, he was just like, alright, how about we just hurry up with this bike? We know what we're doing. Let's just hurry up so I can get back upstairs and I can take care of business. And, he starts talking about, how all the crazy ones just seem to love me for some reason. And how he never cheated on Gwen. And Ben is just like, yo, you sure about that? Sure you never cheated? Jake is like, yo, listen, my eyes may have wandered around a couple of times, but I was faithful. And that pretty much ends that scene. Let's talk about Rafe and Roth. The mad scientist. So Rafe is just like, listen, if you tell me what I need to know that set Gabby free, I'll give you a better room, one with a view, give you a big library, and you can continue research. And all you gotta sit there and do is tell me the truth. Tell me something that's gonna help Gabby. Tell me that you did this to Abigail. Even though apparently Roth was in prison, Rafe was just like, so you had one of your minions do it, right? You could tell me. How Ralph was just like, listen, this sounds like a pretty sweet offer, but do you even actually have the power to do that? And I'm not gonna lie. When he said that, after Rafe laid out that sweet deal, I was like, yeah, he has a point. You can't do that. Rafe's like, nah, I'll talk to the DA. We'll straighten it out. They go back and forth. At the end, it's a dead end. Ralph is pretty much just going to not incriminate whoever it was who set Gabby up. And on the other side of town, you got Chad and Gabby going at it, laying out each other's dirty laundry. Apparently, Chad got some dirt on his fingers. Like that. I don't know. They go back and forth, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of seeing a different side to this Chad guy. It's kind of I don't know. I would sit there and say he's kind of a badass a little bit, because at the end of the conversation, apparently Chad must have did something to his wife, and he pretty much says, "Hey, listen, if I did that to my wife, what do you think I'm gonna do to you?" It's like, yeah, what he said. Jack comes in, and then Gabby's all like, "Oh, he tried to threaten to kill me, and if you weren't here, da 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 da." I'm just not there thinking, Gabby, you do realize that Jack doesn't like you, right? And so even if something less than said, something happened, I'm pretty sure Jack could just be like, I ain't saying anything. Anyway, by the way, what was Gabby actually even doing there? She does know that Jack and Jennifer lives there, and they don't really like Gabby, so why was she there? That's pretty much my question. Anyway, she leaves. Jack and Chad have a heart-to-heart. about Abigail, her situation, how it hasn't changed. He's still heartbroken, and Abigail pretty much wanted him to leave so that way he can be there for the kids and just not to really see it like that. And that's when Jack was like, listen, you're like a son to us. And it was nice. There was also something to say it was nice because, he didn't just marry her, he married into a family. And he married into a family that embraced him. That is pretty much treating him like a son, part of the family. So I thought that was actually a good, nice heart-to-heart talk. Anyway, Chad gets emotional because he doesn't know about Abigail and her brain chemistry, if that can even be fixed. And Chad's just like, listen, I gotta go to the courthouse so I can pretty much bury Gabby. And that pretty much ends that. Let's talk about Sierra and Sean and then Marlene. Let's talk about Sierra and Sean first. So, Sean, I feel so bad for Sean because Sierra kind of flip-flop back and forth about how she doesn't know she can trust Claire. She doesn't know she wants her to be her maid of honor. And Sean asked a really good question. Well, if you don't want her to be your maid of honor, and you have every right to be, have your right to say no, do you have any other candidates any other friends that you can ask? And Sierra's like, no. Sierra pretty much said that, she pretty much made her life all about Ben and helping Ben and defending Ben. And so she was like, no. And, listen, all of that pretty much said to me was that she made her life about a man. And that's just something you shouldn't do. Don't ever make your life just about a man. And this is coming from a man. So just take that with a grain of salt. Anyway, she's going back and forth. And, Sean is kind of being a middleman, literally, because Claire's a daughter, Sierra's a sister. So it's like he has to sit there and try to defend both sides, but also be there for both of them. So I thought that was pretty interesting. And also I'm just like, damn, bro, it really sucks to be you. On the other side of town, you have Hope and Marlena. And Hope is pretty much just asking, hey, is Claire fit to be around the public, pretty much? Is she good? And, on one hand, Hope has every right. Sierra's a daughter. And, she did try to burn her alive. On the other hand, I can see that Marlena is kind of giving her the stink eye, like, hey, listen, I said she's good. Stop punishing my granddaughter, this, that, and the third. But and the thing is, the way that Hope was sitting there asking this question, it's like going around in circles, basically sitting there saying, hey, is she still crazy? And so Marlene is just sitting there just trying to reassure her. Claire comes out, acting weird as fuck, I'm not gonna lie, and is just doing the whole being a manipulator to Hope. Oh, I just want to make everything up to everyone. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I should be forgiven. I can totally understand if you don't want me in your life. I'm just like, wow, this woman is putting on a show. Marlena, you're a psychiatrist and you still can't see what she's doing. Okay, sure. But you're the best. So, okay. I mean, I get it to some extent. She kind of has a blind eye because that is her family member, but still. Anyway, Sierra comes in and Sierra's like, hey, let me get this straight. Oh, wait. Anyway, Sierra comes over and does this whole grandiose speech. I'm probably not using that word right, but whatever. Pretty much does this grand speech about how, they've been friends for a long time and they're like family and I trust you and I want to give you a second chance. And so basically she's like, hey, listen, I want you to be my maid of honor if you still want it. They hug and that pretty much ends that. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of walked, when I saw that scene, I was just like, listen, those are all very sweet words and stuff, but why don't you get to the part where you tell her that, you're gonna allow her to be your maid of honor, as opposed to this whole wait out scene until the very end. It's like, you already, like, come on. Not to say you're not putting this woman through torture, and not to say she don't deserve it, but come on, let's just get to that part where we sit there and say, hey, listen, whatever. That's just my little nitpick of it. But anyway, that was it. That was the end of the scene. Also, when Rafe came back to Gabby Smith saying, hey, listen, I tried, but he was not giving me anything. And Gabby was like, no, I understand, I appreciate what you did. And then they walked towards court. You got Rolf talking to somebody on the other end, Smith saying, hey, listen, Rafe came in with a very interesting offer, but I declined it, of course. And don't worry, I kept your name out of it. I didn't implicate you in anything. So I'm wondering, who was it that, he was talking to? I mean, hell, was he actually sitting there talking to Chad? I mean, I know pretty much the town pretty much doesn't like her, but I'm sitting there trying to think of who would actually want to really set her up. I can't think of Eli. Okay, this is pretty much the end of the recap. I can't sit there and think of Eli and Lonnie, because even if they want to do it, they're cops. Which, by the way, thank you. I don't remember who told me that Rafe helped cover up a murder with Hope, but I'm sitting there thinking, like, really? Because he just comes across so much as a Boy Scout that I can't imagine him, getting his hands dirty, or anything like that. So, man, I would actually really love to see that. I actually felt like I missed out on quite a lot. But yeah, that was pretty much about it. Again, I think my favorite scene was between Jack and Chad, and I kind of like Jack. I like the fact that Jack can actually be open and be sensitive at times. You don't really find a lot of men that can actually, I don't know. In our society, as men, we're always like gotta be the very tough and invulnerable and whatever. So it's actually kind of nice to see his character act like that at times. So yeah, yay Jack. Anyway, enough of the rambling. I know this is coming out super late, so I appreciate anyone who's actually watching it now, between now and tomorrow at 12. Thank you. So yeah, that's actually gonna do it for this recap. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the comments, good, bad, or indifferent. And again, I apologize to everyone else for being, like, I don't know, starting off in a very negative light. But I'm not the type person that will take disrespect. And there's a fine line between you writing a comment disagreeing with me about something, as opposed to telling me that I have to get over it, or you have to sit there and try to shame me for liking a certain character, or talk about how I'm unpleased with liking a certain episode or a certain show or whatever. Because at the end of the day, I'm going to sit there and do these comments, I'm going to sit there and do these videos based on my opinions. And that goes for GH also. GH is not going to be like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not cutting them any slack either, Hell, my very first video, I'm pretty sure I called Nina a moron. And I've been watching that show since like 2002, I'll sit there and say. But I don't, what I'm saying? Like, I don't pull punches on that show, and I'm not going to pull punches on this show. And I understand that I don't know all the history and stuff like that. I'm coming in as a new person that watches this show. But as somebody who's new, who's watching the show, this is what I'm seeing, and these are my opinions of it. I call Gabby a moron for a reason. Now, I understand that she wanted to get back her husband. She was devastated, and she loved her husband. But the one thing that Rolf actually said was something that was very, very clear to me. And it really hit home for me. Rolf is like, listen, I don't want her to go, pretty much, she's sure to prioritize her time. You know, she should have prioritized, you know, what was important in her life. You know, I mean, she pretty much tried to stick somebody with a drug that she didn't even know was going to work just because somebody told her it was going to work. She has a daughter, okay? When you're an adult and you don't have children, you don't have responsibilities, go for it. Sure, whatever. Why not? When you have a daughter or a child or whatever, you know, you have a child, there's certain things you just can't do anymore. There's certain things that you have to sit there and take into account before you decide to start doing stuff. And for somebody who's going to sit there and say, for somebody who's going to sit there and talk about how they love their daughter, this, that, and the third, you didn't sit there and think about her when you were sitting there trying to inject this guy with a drug that you didn't even know was going to work. Now, yeah, she did go to jail for a crime that she didn't commit, and that sucks. But she also was the type of person that did a lot of dirt. And I don't know how much dirt she did before she had a child. And again, I'm not giving GH any, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not pulling punches with GH. I'm just saying how much of that dirt did she do knowing that she had a daughter and decided to do it anyway. So it's just kind of, for me, it's like I can't really cut her a lot of slack. And I get it. It's a soap opera. It's drama. People do dumb things. This is why we watch it. I totally get that. But on the other hand, I'm just like, I can't cut you any slack. And it's hard for me to sit there and feel sorry for you when you make choices that are stupid and are dumb, and you don't think about the consequences, not for yourself, but for your own children. Anyway, wow, that rant just went completely left. I almost kind of forgot why I actually even started the rant in the first place. But, yeah, I think I was talking about why I called Gabby a moron. Yeah, so that still stands. Gabby is still a moron. Nina's a moron too. That makes anyone feel any better. Anyway, that's gonna do it for this recap of Days of Our Lives. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the comments, good, bad, or indifferent. I really appreciate it. And that's gonna do it. So have a good day, good night, depending on when you're watching this. Be safe. I will catch you in the next video.